I'm going to jump to our resource pack directory. And let's open up 55 front.php, switching to using subscribers. Let's copy this code and paste it over the code that's currently in our front.php file and save it. Let's compare this with our previous front.php file, step 53. I'm going to drag these over to our comparison tool. So you see before we had our listeners. Now, instead, we're adding our subscribers. And the code is a little bit more laconic. It says add subscriber, and then we create an instance of the subscriber class. In this case, we're going to use content length subscriber and Google Listener again, and we're just going to modify them to make them subscribers. Notice that the priority, -255, is no longer embedded in this code here. Now we need to take a look at how content length listener and Google Listener changed. So let's go back to the resource pack directory and open up step 56, Google Listener.php, switching to a subscriber model. And we'll copy the code and we'll paste it over Google Listener.php and save it. This code got a little bit more complicated, but it's not that bad. If we compare this with our previous version, I'm going to compare this with step 51. I'm going to drag these over to the file comparison tool. You see that our class, Google Listener, implements event subscriber interface. So we talked about interfaces before, and we use them to enable our testing. But in addition to making testing more efficient, it also sets up a scaffolding of what we expect a particular type of class to provide in terms of methods. So the event subscriber interface expects a method called getSubscribedEvents. And what this method does is return an array that includes the name of the event as the key, and then the method within this class that's going to be called when that event is triggered. So our whole onResponse event is the same in both of our files, but we've just added this getSubscribedEvents. The only other line that's changed is up here, and we're just using the event subscriber interface namespace to make it so we don't have to use the full namespace right here. Okay, now let's take a look at our second class, content length listener.php. This is step 57. Let's open this up. We'll copy it and we'll paste it over our content length listener.php file and save it. If we compare this with our previous content length listener in step 52, I'm going to drag this over to our file comparison tool. You see a very similar structure emerge from what we changed. We're using the event subscriber interface namespace. We're implementing event subscriber interface inside of our class. And then we're creating a getSubscribedEvents function. And this returns an array that includes the name of the event. And in this case, since we have two pieces of data we need to pass into this event, before we only had the method, now we have a method in priority, we're going to wrap these in an array. So now, this priority, which was kind of bugging us a little bit in the front.php file, is now embedded inside of our subscriber. Now we've made a series of changes, so let's test this out in the browser. We should be ready to. I'm going to go back to Chrome, close out my developers tool and refresh, and everything looks okay. Yep, this is a leap year GA code, and if we looked at our headers, we would see a content length set as well.